I knew in high school this is what I wanted to do. I didn't know it would be in radio. I knew though I'd work in music. I'm Lisa Worden, and I'm the Assistant Program Director as well as the Music Director at KROQ. I have been here, gosh, about 16 years, and I am involved with finding bands to play on the radio station, finding songs to play, booking bands for the events that we do, coordinating interviews, basically anything that has to do with the artists that we play, I'm involved in it. The programming department, which consists of myself, Kevin Weatherly, and Jean Sandblum, the three of us are kind of the core programming team of the radio station. We definitely kind of, help script out the music that you hear on the radio, because someone's got to do that. Otherwise, it would just be mayhem, and you'd be hearing, God, who knows, Rihanna on KROQ. Someone's got to be at the helm to kind of, put it all together so it's there for the DJs who are the talent and the ones who present everything over the airwaves. For kids growing up now who want to be in the business, you need to make it happen. Nothing's handed to you. You really got to work to make it happen. And I'm not just talking being in a band. I'm saying if you want to work in the music business, you gotta find a way to get your foot in the door. And if you really want something, you got to go for it. Music has always been my passion. It's always been what I've loved. I would sneak out of my house and go to shows. I would be in Los Angeles, and my parents never knew I was in Los Angeles seeing shows at a far too young age. I knew this is what I wanted to do. When I graduated high school, I immediately went to college. That was always the plan for me from my parents, and I was along for that plan because I knew it was important for me to go. They wanted me to be an accountant, and I said, nope, that's not happening. I will study business for you, but I am not going to be an accountant. I'm going to work in music. My parents were like, if that's truly what you want to do, you better start getting on it now so that you have a job when you graduate. And I'm like, great. And so I started sending out letters to be an intern. I didn't get any replies, nothing. And ironically enough, my sister heard a DJ on KROQ say that a specific record label needed interns, and she wrote down the phone number, and it was for SBK Records. And I called and I got an interview, and they hired me, and I got my foot in the door, and I was so happy to be working for free 3 days a week in Los Angeles at a record label. When I first came to KROQ, I was the music director, and admittedly, I didn't know anything about radio. I was really green. Kevin, my boss, was the one who said, hey, I think you'd be great at this job at KROQ. And I was like, I don't know radio. Like, I don't even know how I'd do it. And he's like, I'll teach you. So I came to KROQ, started out as you would say the MD, that's the abbreviation. And I learned radio basically from square one, from the ground up. And I learned what it meant to find a hit. I mean, a lot of the times people will say, well, this is a hit and that's a hit. Well, really being able to identify a true hit is actually an art that can be learned. I learned that to being able to schedule music, to being able to have a really keen ear for radio and figuring out what songs are going to work and what ones might not work at first, but then it takes time, really developing ears. And then, maintaining relationships with record companies and artists and all that kind of stuff. So I did that for a long time, probably about 8 years. And then I transitioned and went to Washington, D.C. to be a program director. So that was my jump from being just an MD to a PD. I was in Washington, D.C. for 2 years, and then Kevin brought me back to KROQ in 2005. And that's kind of how I got my start.